politics divide and rule. Politics don't show people God. Politics tell you that somebody can do something fair. You know? What we know is God that do everything. So the best man to deal with is God. When you deal with God, you don't deal with politics because politics divide and rule.
Yes, family, so upright and upright. We have Prince Harry coming in tonight, and he's a serious and militant family, you know what I mean? He's a great family and all of these things. And don't miss out. I'm just gonna start up the live, and after Prince Harry gonna come in and turn up the heat. Don't miss it, don't miss it, don't miss it. And if you have any question for ask Prince Harry same way, you know what I mean? He's a great family. All right, make I just clear up these and start the live. Yeah, family. Don't miss it out. Prince Harry coming in tonight, yeah?
Is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses, there's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things that they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them.
So. You become a weapon against yourself. That's why it's so important to know, to be able to authentically identify with who you are. Because when you don't know who you are, you become a weapon against yourself. Because there are other powers and other entities that know exactly who you are and what you are capable of. And so they'll use your energy source. You are walking, talking, breathing pure fucking magic. You are.
You. That's why it's called call. You don't call, it calls you. All you need to do is have what is called a Ma'atian heart. Have a pure heart, have a good heart, have the Creator's heart. And when you open up your airwaves, your ancestors will start to talk to you because you are born with your calling long before you were ever born, long before you were ever conceived. You were given a job to do. And that's your divine calling. So your call comes to you. And as you move through life and as you experience certain things, if you're on the track that's heading towards your destiny, because you can be, see, you have Ma'at. Ma'at is justice, righteousness, reciprocity, balance, harmony. But when you don't have, and when you're not on the path of Ma'at, you're on the path of Ishvat. Our ancestors didn't have a concept of good and bad. There was no such thing as bad. They had a concept of good and what existed when it wasn't good. Because it is most of the time on the path of Ishvat, you come to realize that you're not on the path of good. So it is our job now, once on Ishvat, which we all are, and I'm first online to tell you I've been on Ishvat, that's part of life. You ain't gonna be on Ma'at all the time. Ma'at is what you search for. But you're not always there. So it's all right to make your mistakes. Life is part of mistakes. Most of my greatest lessons happen through my mistakes. But once you make a mistake and you realize it's a mistake, you are morally obligated to make a change. So then you leave and go back from whence you came off of Ishvat in order to get back on the road of Ma'at and keep the path where you left off. So your destiny is within you constantly, and you always have these paths. The principalities of evil are always going to try to get you over to Ishvat. They're going to throw everything at you to get over to Ishvat. But through your divine calling, you are now going to understand that it is time now to move back and get back onto the path of Ma'at.
Yes, from Billy Harry. You know what I mean? Prince Harry, what one?
Hey, man.
Yes, greetings.
Hello, everyone.
Yes.
It's good to be on, man. It's
Yeah,
going to be a good show today, man.
And you know, the universe give thanks for your presence same way at this moment. You know what I mean? Prince Harry. You know what I mean? Prince of righteousness, you know, and upliftment same way, you see.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you did have like some things where you want like family to know about word word spell and thing like those?
Word spelling and the language that we speak.
Yeah. And yeah, and with that now, it's like a lot of us need correction in the words what we use, you know, and know how to use the word. So yes, family, Prince Harry gonna, like, you know, Prince of Righteousness and the righteous light, you know, and we have to dare for each other to uplift each other. Where he's doing his part, we have to do our part same way, you know. So yes, Prince Harry, so it's like I want you to explain explain about yourself a bit, you know.
Yeah, so I'm Harry. Me and Daniel have been talking for a while now, and came across Daniel's live stream one day, and I found it interesting what he was saying. I share a lot of the same views that he does, and you know, a couple of years ago, I had like a wake up call where I started to realize that a lot of things in the world are not really what they seem and what they tell us, you know. And as I started to progress and look more into like what they call conspiracy theories and whatever, I started to see that, you know, they're hiding the truth from us. And, you know, there's so many subjects that, you know, that we could talk about, but I thought today would be a good one with languages and word spells, because, you know, there's definite life in the tongue, you know, and we're more powerful than what we think we are. You know, we all think we're, you know, just average people, but we have a lot of power in our beings, you know. So I thought that it would be a really good subject to talk about today with me and Daniel. And yeah, like,
and remember, family,
you know, I came across
live,
this
you know?
myself when someone explained it to me. Funny enough, I was talking to a random person, and they said to me, "Oh, don't say this word." I said, "Oh, why can't I say that word?" And they said, "No, because you don't understand that you're putting a spell on yourself." And that's why they sent me a video, and then I started looking deep into it, and that's where I found out, like, you know, just looking through even like the etymology of words, so where words come from, you know, and you start to see like how they've created such a language where, you know, they corrupt everything pretty much that you know that is good, even speech.
Yeah, like controlling people without people knowing.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, it's a way of manipulating people and keeping them
Under their control.
Yeah, like keeping them down and not being able to progress, you know, and spiritually as well. So, you know, in every form of way, really. And they use this tactic all over the place, just like the police. You know, the police, they speak English, but they speak a subtract of English, which is called legalese. So, you know, a lot of the time when we talk to people, they're talking English, but they're talking legalese, which is it's like a legal language that they speak. And words, they use the exact same words, but they have different meanings in the court because of, you know, something called admiralty law, or, you know, the law of the sea.
Yeah.
And they use this to trick us into their jurisdiction, you know, to make us give verbal contracts with them. Because, just for instance, if someone came up to you and they were like, "Oh, do you understand me?" You'd obviously think like, "Do you comprehend what I'm saying?" Whereas they're saying, "Do you stand under my authority?" That's what they're saying to you, because you just have to reverse the words around. A lot of the time in witchcraft, a lot of things are backwards. They're back to front, you know, they're upside down.
Yeah.
Like just.
So you say, wait, I don't really stop you, Prince Harry. It's like you say the way the police them use the English language is like a different way.
Yeah, like they use it in a way to trick you, and a lot of the time that you won't even be doing anything wrong. You know, a lot of people, it happens to so many people, and you know, just like people who go around and they do auditing, for instance, where they take videos, which is perfectly lawful for them to do.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
how they trick you as well is the differences between lawful and legal. So
Okay.
something could be lawful, but it can be illegal. So just for instance, you know, if you wanted to defend yourself, for instance, sometimes the police will arrest you for defending yourself. And then they would say that's illegal when it's lawful. So something can be lawful, but it can be illegal. But something can be legal, but it can be unlawful. So, and this is where the legal is something that is created by man, legalities. So things like acts, statutes, legislation, anything that's made by man is called legality, the legal system. And then the law system is common law, which is what is common to man, you know, like things that like you should not harm each other, you know, because obviously we're meant to love each other, you know. That's one of the two greatest commandments is to love God and to love your neighbor as you love yourself. And if you fulfill these two things, you ain't gonna do anything. You're not gonna break any other of the laws. And this is, you can call it God's law, you can call it natural law, whatever you want to call it. But really, it's what the police call it. What it should be is common law, which is common understanding between men when they have you know, when they come into contact with each other. That you're not gonna cause them harm or their property any harm.
Yeah.
But now, you know, they've created all these acts, and you know, a lot of the times the police will say, I'm searching you under PACE 1, which is an act or something like that. And an act, only actors act. So you see what I'm saying? So it's all made up. It's a stage. It's not real because they're actors, and that's what actors do. They act. Whereas real people, they live a life that's, you know, real. Whereas these people, they live under a false system where they, you know, try and usurp your rights, take your rights.
Yeah, because
away
for real.
by using these fake things, you know.
Yeah. And they use this fake law or acting law and intimidate us with it.
Yeah. And if you don't agree, if you don't comply with them, what they call comply, or, you know, you don't agree with them, then you become the enemy, really. Even if you haven't done anything wrong, you know. And they will use force against you. They'll beat you up, throw you on the floor, you know, just all kinds of abuse, just because you are not willing to give up your rights, you know, your sovereign rights, you know, which is completely unfair, man. And
we need to know these things.
Yeah, man, it's time. A lot of people are waking up to the system that's been, you know, placed into our lives, which like the birth certificates and things like that, where people are realizing that this is what the police use as well to create something called joinder. So just the first thing, the reason why police always ask you for your ID is because they're trying to create joinder, which is fraud. They're trying to get you to commit fraud with them. So if I say to you, my name's Harry, right?
Yeah.
And they go, is your name, they would say to you, is your name Mr., for instance, I'll use my name, Mr. Harry Richardson. My name is not Mr. I don't know who Mr. is. My name is Harry. That's my name. Or Harry, and my name wouldn't be written in all capitals, for instance, as well. So your Mr. is a title. And that's why normally your name will either be wrote in, if you look at your driver's license, for instance.
Yeah.
I'll get on my driver's license. You'll see that my name is written in all capitals.
Yeah.
On the driver's license. So I don't mind showing it.
Nah, man, that's okay, you know. That's okay. Yeah, no, that's okay.
But just to show the viewers, you know, what they do is that your name is not written in all capitals. Your name is written in lowercase.
Yeah.
Maybe, obviously, in the first letter will be uppercase, but your name is not written in like semi-uppercase. Capital. Like your first name would be normal, and then your last name could be capitalized. So your name is just normal, and this is how when they create the birth certificate, because it's not a living entity, it's a piece of paper, it's a corporation. corporation has no soul, has no breath of life in it. And that's what they're trying to get, to trick you into their system, which is, death, really.
Yeah.
And we're meant to be in life.
Yeah.
That's how they trick you into their system, by using birth certificates and, and then once they get your ID, just to go back to the ID thing, then you're basically saying, oh, that's you. You see what I'm saying? The name, you're saying that's me. So you're representing the dead entity. So if you look at the word represent, you break down the word, it means represent. So if something's already been presented, if you represent something, that means you're presenting it again. So if I present something, that means I'm showing it first time. But if I represent it, I'm showing it again. So this is how they make you commit, fraud, pretty much, because you're saying that you are that person when you're not. You're that. You see, and that's what they're trying to get you to do, because they want you to pretend to be the corporation, so they can take all your inheritance, your money out of you. And
your value in the earth. Yeah.
So they can, so these people can take away, because this world belongs to everyone in this world, right? Everyone in this, it belongs to everyone. God gave it to man, and it wasn't given to the Pope. It wasn't given to Bill Gates. It wasn't given to the fake Queen Elizabeth. It wasn't given to none of these people. It was given to every single person, who has anything that has breath, right? And is a man or a woman. They are sovereign, and they are entitled to any resources. They shouldn't have to pay for water. They shouldn't have to pay for food. All these things are free anyway. And, and this is how they try, and they steal what belongs rightfully to you and to everyone else, and then we're suffering, and we're kept in enslavement where we have to go to work, which is modern slavery, because there's nothing wrong with working, but what you're doing essentially is
working for the system.
Yeah, but you're paying tax, which is the slavery. So you're going and you're working, you're using your energy to work, and then you're forced because you don't really have a choice unless you do something which is called a lawful rebellion, which is what you can do anyway. But you're forced, otherwise you had the police at your door, which is the military. They are essentially the military, because it's just, people don't understand that if you do not pay tax, they're going to either put you in jail or they're going to give you more fines, because you're not willing to go to work and be a slave and pay money to the crown, which is wrong. Tax is theft.
It's like idle, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is how they use language, and it all comes together. The language is just one part of it, and I thought this would be really good subject to talk about, because it's one of the key things that they use, especially when you go to court. You shouldn't go to court in the first place, because when they issue a summons, it's an invitation. Summons means invitation if you look in the Black Law Dictionary. So
I never know that one.
They would say you would, otherwise, why do they call it a summons,
Yeah.
Say, for instance, they're summoning something. What do you do with people who want to summon a spirit? That's what. Why would they use that word? It's a thing where
invitation.
That spirit doesn't have to manifest itself. You see what I'm saying? It's a voluntary thing. You don't have to go, because they have no jurisdiction over you. When you go to the court, you're essentially giving them jurisdiction over you, because you're willfully coming.
See, jurisdiction meaning you're giving away
you're giving your sovereignty away by allowing it to happen. You're not standing up for what. So when you don't stand up for what you believe in, or you allow someone to walk over you, you're not standing on what they call the square, right? And this is what Freemasons use. They say you have to stand on your square. That's a belief that Freemasons have, is that no matter what, when you step on the square, you've lost the argument, you've lost the sovereignty. You've given it over to the other person. So if and that's why you use something, if I willfully allow someone to walk over me, I'm giving up my sovereignty to them. I'm allowing them to manipulate me and abuse me.
Yeah. It's just like It's just like what they call it, people believe in these celebrity who worship demon. So they give away their right.
Yeah, when you're obviously there's people that we can look up to, but when we idolize someone
Yeah.
and we fixate, we follow them like they're God, or we treat them as a god, and we worship them, because pretty much that's why I call it idol, because they're worship, people are worshiping them and they're giving away their energy to these people. And that's why even in the concerts, when they go to a concert, it's just a ritual, and they don't understand.
Oh, so concert is a ritual.
Yeah, that's why they have something called mosh pits. And you've seen that where they go, like, they do crazy things. They get in a circle.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, mosh pits, for instance, they get into like a circle and then they start going crazy. And,
yeah.
And, it's just a really satanic thing what they do to people, man, without them realizing, looking deeper into it and then understanding why these things go on.
Yeah.
It's just honestly crazy, but.
Yeah, because some people will like look on it like, oh yeah, it's just a party or it's just an event and all of these things, but it's more soul capturing.
Yeah, it's you're essentially what they're trying to do is the more that you hang around with, if you haven't realized, like, the more you hang around bad people, right, who bad influence, their personality starts rubbing off on you. This is why if you put a rotten fruit in a fresh bowl of fruit, all the fruit are gonna start rotting. You see, and this is why you have to cut off even your own family, because they're not the greatest influence around you, because it will start their personality will start rubbing off on you, because we're all energy, and that energy is that what they're putting off will start rubbing off on you, and then you start picking up on it, because and this is why going to concerts and things like that, you're rubbing, it's it's the same thing. It's essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
And you start acting, a lot of the people, they start acting and they start to trying to mirror the celebrity, the same clothes he wears, the same fashion, even with women, women becoming over sexualized, wearing bikinis and things like that. I'm not saying men are not sexualized, but I'm just saying especially my generation, because I'm quite young, are probably the most sexualized that the world has ever been. So just honestly, man.
Yeah, and it really, really bad, because sometimes even the mothers them is doing it, and the kids them now catching from the parent.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah,
the parents don't know how to teach their kids. See, a lot of the time, parents are scared to teach their kids because they're scared the government's going to come and tell their kid that they're not doing the right thing when it's their child,
Yeah. And they're supposed to play a protector role, guide the children them.
Yeah. I think that they say it's up to like 7 years old that children, their brain is like a sponge, and they're not conscious, like aware. They're not self-aware until they get, normally they say it's over like 7 years old that they start to become self-aware. So in that period of time, it's most important that parents protect their kids from, the wrong people, do the right things, about the world that we live in, because, they're reflecting their parents, really. That's what they're doing. We're all mirrors, and that's just what it is. We need to reflect the right thing. That's our purpose here, is to reflect that which is righteous and that which is good. Anything that is good, joyful, all the good things, really.
Because we're coming on the earth to be happy,
Yeah, man. Well, this was paradise at one point, and because of people. Because if you look at just Adam and Eve, that story, right? It became corrupted over them wanting to explore and try things that weren't, right. You see, when we already had whatever we needed, but we went and we were trying to forbidden knowledge, and we end up being corrupted. It's the same thing today. People are still, taking the bite of that fruit, forbidden fruit, and the having forbidden knowledge, and look at the world today. The amount of evil in this world, the amount of bad things going on, is because people keep going down the same dark path and they keep doing the wrong things.
It's just like the word name rich. Everybody want a bite off of it, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the richer them get, the more they lost their soul.
Yeah, they gain the world and they lose the soul.
Yeah, it's we have translated from like then, and we are in the future of that message, where it's like we are say, oh, what is the bad apple now? But the bad apple now is like selling your soul to be a billionaire,
Yeah, for real. No, really, man. Yeah. People are willing to do anything nowadays, really. Just look at like OnlyFans and things like that, Yeah. People selling their body for $9.99 a month subscription, and they're prostituting their body, and their body's a temple,
Yeah.
And
the creator give them that body, and they're destroying the body,
Exactly. They're destroying the body, and it's honestly just I don't comprehend how people could just be that bad. I've done things in my past, but for people just to go down like a path where like crossing the line, you know what I mean, going so far, into darkness, man. A lot of people have done that. And it's crazy.
we need to come out of them thing there, That's why I say Prince Harry, a prince of light, you know what I mean? Light of righteousness. And whenever I talk to the brother now, it's like, believe you me, family. I talk to a million of family, and I don't really hear family as pure as him. You know what I mean? That's why it's like I make Prince Harry, and I mean put on the prince of it, the prince on it, because
I'm just a normal person, man.
Yeah, we all are a normal person, you know what I mean? Until we become ourselves, and when the creator will send us around the right person, so we light can shine. Because a lot of families out there, and they know a lot, but they sit down and make life pass them by, watch families suffering out there and all of these things, when we're supposed to be there for each other,
I know what you're saying, because we were saying this yesterday about people. They'll watch videos, and I think it's time for everyone. This is what
play their part.
Yeah, it's time for everyone to stop sitting on the fence now, because we need to. If you're gonna do it, you gotta do it now. If you want to make a stand for your rights
and the kids,
for your family, kids, for your children, because they're your children. They don't belong to the government. Forget the birth certificate, man. And people, because obviously people feel like the birth certificate has control. You can burn that certificate. It's just
he's still alive.
Yeah, your child is still with you. It's time for everyone to finally get up, because really, as soon as you stand up, I've lost a lot of things because I've stood up. But the thing is that I'm still going to stand up. Even if I lose my own life, I'm still going to stand up, because the world that we live in is not. It's never. Nothing really fulfills me in the system that we have. The things that would fulfill me, and I've always felt fulfilled, is when I'm back with things that are natural, things that are, they're pure, they're good. And until we get to that point where we get up and we stand up and we go back to that, because really, we all, a lot of people say, oh, we're living in 2022 now. We're not living in the dark ages. We need to go back, because mental health is at its, highest point. The mental health is going through the roof. I think they say it's more than 1 in 5 people suffer mental health nowadays. That's
And what caused that too? It's like people have too much on their mind, and they don't get the space to release it. You see,
Exactly. It's just it's a mixture of so many things of going. You know, they have too much in their mind, too many worries, because the system purposely creates that worry to keep you enslaved because it wants you depending on them, so that the worry. So, say for instance, you think if I stand up, I'm going to lose my job and everything. If everyone stood up, you wouldn't lose your job because
no, you gain
you
your
would
life
gain
and
you gain
everything.
your life. You get your life back. You have your own land. Your children would have, it's a thing where they have amassed all what belongs to you, or the land, your resources, the money. Obviously, there's going to be a currency, right? But it's the way it is today. Inflation is, beyond belief. The national debt is on belief. There shouldn't be any debt in the first place. You know, everyone should be able to, live and flourish because there's unlimited resources on this world. They want to tell you there's not unlimited resources. There's unlimited water. They want to tell you that we live in a globe, that we're flying through space, and that we're nothing, that we're just unintelligent beings that came from nothing.
Die.
And you live and then you die. That's it. That's what they want you to believe, because when they tell you that and you believe that, they've got power over you because you believe that that's your life. When really everyone should be happy, and they should have all the things that they need, right? And they should have, they should be able to go out in the world and live their life and be happy and do what they want to do, But there's always these restrictions put everywhere because it's all a trick to keep us enslaved.
Like example, I'm a Jamaican, born birthright Jamaican, and I have to pay to go to Jamaica. My own birthright land, or my spot where I born. So if me say, all right, me going to invite you to Jamaica now, we'd have to pay for a flight to go to Jamaica. No, it don't supposed to happen like that. If I come to Europe and meet you, I'm supposed to say, Prince Harry, come, we're going to Jamaica, and next after now, you get a bit of the culture, and we get culture, and the more things we learn, our mind open up.
Not even just that. You'd have to buy a visa, and why should I have to buy a visa to go into a country? Because there's no such thing as countries, really. It's all one world. The land, it's all land, right? And you got the water, but that's not the point. There shouldn't be any borders. People should be able to go wherever they want. It's all a stage to create drama. Drama is how they get you occupied in their nonsense. So the thing between Ukraine and Russia, it's a thing where people go, "Oh no, Ukraine's my land," and then Russia will go, "Oh, it doesn't belong to anyone. It doesn't belong to any. It doesn't belong to any state, any queen. The only king is God, and that's, you see what I'm saying? The only supreme ruler overall is God. We are under God. We are sovereign under the Creator, and then corporations are below us. So this is how it's this is how it goes, right? See how Masons like to use the pyramid symbol, right? As it's an inversion of the truth. The pyramid is God is at the top, then we are next, and then the government, and then the corporations are right at the bottom. But they've inverted it, so they put corporations at the top, government, us, and we're at the bottom of in their system, right? And that system is not a real system; it's a false system to trick you. It's the other way around. You are at the top; they're at the bottom. The government has no authority over you because
your life.
Who gave them permission to rule over you? I never gave the government permission. I don't vote. I never gave them my consent. I don't agree with some of the laws and that they've got going on. So what gives them the right to rule over me? I'm not a bad person. I don't go around hurting people and killing people and whatever else. So what gives them permission to try to think that they can rule over me and then use the police to abuse me, harass me, and things like it? They have no permission at all. They have no authority, and they know it. So, and that's the thing. You've got to stand up yourself. And when more people stand up, you know, you're gonna be labeled whatever. Who cares what people think about you? Just stand up and be free. The moment you stand up, you're free. You know, and the thing is, some people may hate you because of it, because they're too scared to stand up themselves. But when you stand up, you're more free than sitting down, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You're just gonna be living the same life.
And the kids them, whatever, your niece, nephew, friends, whatever, then gotta be a slave to the system too.
The same cycle is going to keep repeating itself over and over and over again. It doesn't matter how many times you post on Facebook. It doesn't matter how, you know, it's good that we're posting, you know, people waking up, but it's great people waking up. But the thing is, what we have to do next is that people have to get up.
Yeah.
Not just wake up, get up. Because I can wake up on my bed, right? But I need to get up out my bed.
Yeah.
You see? I need to get up out my bed, you know, go and hop and shower and get out there, man. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what people need to start doing. It's good that you're waking up in your bed. You're still laying down though. That laying down ain't gonna change anything. Laying down is not gonna do anything. You know? And until people start wanting to get up and then willing to fight for them, their kids and whatever else, and be free, like how it's meant to be, it's going to be the same thing over and over again. And you're going to have all the actors in government, because they're actors, they're not real people.
Yeah. I'm not really stop you, Prince Harry. But what happened now, yeah, is like, family, you have to use Prince Harry and judge the life what we are living, because Prince Harry is young, yeah, and a lot of elder, more than me, more than Prince Harry, same way. It's like they are not doing nothing, so they are enslaved, and we have to, we know as the generation before Prince Harry have to build together. So we when we see Prince Harry now, I do these things, family, it must be real bad for the young generation them, yeah, have to come out and saying these things. You see, it really bad, because I feel the pain. And when I say I feel the pain, it's like I would never stop be at Prince Harry's side, you know what I mean? Because of righteousness in my talk, you know what I mean? And it's like, you see, some people say they are righteous, but they will never stand up for righteousness. You understand me? And Prince Harry is like, you know, he's religious, you know what I mean? And being religious, I love how he talk, you know what I mean? Because he's talking the right way of religion. They manipulate everything. They turn the religion into like a business today. You know what I mean? And turn it into a business, family. A time for us to stand up. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, for real, Prince Harry. You know what I mean?
The same thing happened with people turning religion into business. The same thing happened when Jesus went into the temple and they were selling merchandise inside the temple.
Yeah.
The same thing happened today. We're using our temple to sell merchandise.
Yeah.
You see, it's the same thing. Where it's history repeats itself. These things in the Bible are if you read one of the script, it says these things will happen for an example. We're meant to use these stories. They happened, but there are stories so that we can use as an example, so we don't keep making the same mistakes. We use these stories to progress and evolve. But we're sitting here, and you know, we're allowing these people to, you know, who don't care about you. They don't want you to evolve, you know. And a lot of people that you do meet are actors anyway. You know, a lot of them are Freemasons, or they've got family that are Freemasons, you know, or they're involved with other fraternities, religious cults, you know, where they don't want you to ever progress. I've been to churches where I felt like it's a cult, and I've left. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, I may be religious, but I've left when I started realizing things weren't right there. You know, the way people acting, and you know, the way people like treated me differently to other people. Because you see, this is the, you know, when we need to stop going by like, you know,
yeah,
by like, you know, just thinking things. We need to look deeper. You know, don't take things as for just a plain page. You got to look
Yeah,
deeper.
as the page of the book, you know what I mean?
You got to assess the whole chapter. Don't just skim read. Assess the whole chapter and look for all the little details now, man. And try and if there's any hints, try and because sometimes they're not very. They say indirectly. A lot of Freemasons and things have come up to me and tried to offer me things to shut my mouth and whatever, you know, or to try and get because my dad's friend was a Freemason and he lived with him and we before all this stuff I was quite hip to masonry and things like that, and I used to ask him questions about like secrets and all that, and he used to go, I can't really talk about it and things, and I'd say, I know you know what I'm talking about. These people would say things to you indirectly sometimes as well. So they're very indirect because they're too scared to say it directly, or they're not allowed to say it directly to you. So you've had a conversation with someone and you thought, wait, that's weird what they said. Why did they say something like that? It's because sometimes people say things indirectly to you to get your attention or for you to, you know, think about something, you know. They don't always, they may offer you something, but it's not always directly, it's indirectly as well.
Yeah, because I mean, few Freemasons same way, and I have some Freemason friends same way, yeah. But having these friends now, yeah, it's like only thing they do, yeah, it's just what they call it now. They just use their brain more than the regular people. It's just like I'm a plumber now, yeah. I would be like a mason, you see, and having a trade is like you're a mason, and being that mason, they have like a mason, like a past that would be a mason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But guess what now? Yeah, you see what is bad with the mason now is when they start to manipulate people's mind and get money out of family, and when they start to use spell, you know, like the English spell same way. That is when a mason is corrupt, and that because you see when you go into a school, is you becoming a mason same way, and you're learning to put spells out.
Because they're the people that have my school. Funny enough, my school, for instance, was a Masonic hospital before they turned it into a school. And so when I went for the tour, I think it was like year 7.
Yeah.
For when I first joined, they gave us a tour of the school and they would tell us about the history of the building, and you would see, you know, the Masonic symbols all around. So a lot of places and a lot of things in charity are funded by Masons. A lot of society is built up on Masonic principles. Just like in America, the reason why the American dollar has a pyramid on it, the $1, is because it's the whole system is built on Masonic principles and values, you know? So it may seem Christian. A lot of people claim to be Christian in Masons. Right? I've met many Masons. I've spoken to many Masons who think they're Christian, right? But they ain't.
Yeah, them laws same way. So them brainwash the population and brainwash themselves.
Exactly, because it seems so. This is why it says Satan masquerades as an angel of light. He portrays that he's good and that, you know, he's very subtle. You see, that's what the devil does. He's very subtle, and he brings these things into society, into school, and all these Masonic teachings are very subtle. They're there, and what it does is that, you see, if I keep like subtly saying things to you, right, and you don't pick up on it, you're gonna stop. Your subconscious picks up on it. You see what I'm saying? And this is how they you know, this is one of the tactics they use to try and, you know,
like you're watching a movie and then put in some biblical sign in it.
Subliminal.
Yeah. And
subliminal.
And when they do that now, it's like your mind we're using and watch the TV, you know, you not really see it, you know, but it's like the spirit, the conscious part is seeing it. So you see, when you go out there now, and it's the same thing you see on the TV, maybe you see someone is doing it, and next you think it's a in think, like, oh yeah, this is the style, or oh, everybody wearing it. Like, no, everybody's underneath that spell. That's why you see most woman is like they're not wearing no bra. They're in like some things like boxers shorts, calling it like summertime. You know what I mean? Like man, I say, what
It's
kind
not-
of spell this? It's just like proper mental. Like these people is proper mental in the head. You know what I
For
mean?
real,
Like
man.
they might wear something like a boxers and calling it clothes.
Well, now see, the thing is, even with this, what do you got the gender stuff? You see with the gender stuff, when they're saying,
Yeah.
"Oh no, you can't even." This is how they pervert the language as well. Is that you can't even say man or woman anymore. Like, or say you can't say breastfeeding. You have to say milk giving or something stupid like that. You know,
Serious.
yeah, like you're not allowed to say anything that it has to be gender neutral words. You see, this is what they're pushing now. I remember I was working in a corporate company for consulting, but I was doing recruitment in the company, and they would tell me, when you write things, write it gender neutral when you're talking to people. And I was like, what? So if I'm talking to a woman, I don't like say it like in the way that I'm talking to a woman, you know? So this is another thing that they're bringing around now is gender neutral language. Yeah, chest feeding, that's it. Chest feeding. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
Nah, good comment, man. I didn't know. I thought it was like it was
Nah,
something. You see what I'm saying? Like it's something stupid.
Yeah.
Men don't have breasts and they don't have, the glands in the breast anyway to produce milk. So it doesn't make any sense. I've got a chest. I haven't got a breast.
Yeah.
And this is
true. And next, the kids whose brain is not active yet, they will feel that this thing is real. You know what I mean? And next, they fall into this like gender brainwash system.
And you see how it's placing. See what it's doing to the people's minds. It's breaking them down and it's making them more morally bankrupt.
Yeah.
Because
enough love goes out to Sis Moonstar.
It's placing women have a feminine nature of nurturing, and when breastfeeding it's a nurturing thing for a baby. It's a very and that's why women are they were created to be that way. So when we start removing what the difference between male and female, and we're just all the same, we're all equal. We're not. We have different purposes in this world, and when we start removing that, it starts becoming, mental illness starts rising because people don't even know who they are. I've met so many people that would be like, oh, I don't know what I want to do in life. I don't know what I want to be. I don't know who I am. I'm depressed. Have you not seen it? Especially kids my age. I've seen so many kids that want to be gothic, emo, and things like this because it's all like a mental problem that they have because of the society that we live in.
Yeah. True. And what happened now is like you see, the kids is like them. A lot of them, the internet is in control of them.
Yeah, TikTok.
Yeah, and it's really, really bad.
You see, one thing with TikTok I've realized though is that why did they name it TikTok?
Yeah, that sounds like a clock.
Exactly. Does it not seem like they're putting because you see, like with the world that we're in now, it does not seem like it's the end of the time, like end of the days, really. To me, it feels like we're in the start of the end. So when they're saying TikTok, it sounds like time's running out, sort of thing. So it's like they put all these little comments and little catchphrases and names in front of everyone, and people just don't question it.
Yeah. True, because when you start to do that now, that is when your mind is active.
Yeah, for real. Even so, what I was gonna say earlier, I wanted to go back to with the language. I had to.
Okay. All right, what am I gonna do? Yeah, I'm just gonna just have a little break and play the same thing what the topic is about, a video. So
Okay.
it's just like maybe a 2-minute video or something like that. Yeah, with language spell. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm just play this video and update family same way of how they try to manipulate our mind same way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 1 minute. Yeah. Prince Harry. Yeah.
Than we think. We were supposed to be raised. Language reveals more than we think. We were supposed to be raised on telepathy. We still have telepathic powers, and this in part is the reason for intuition and feeling other people's energies. Language has been an attempt to cut off this connection. Every word we say is a magic spell. So spelling, spell casting, has been specifically used to denigrate our divine selves. We are born into this world. Born comes from the English word barren. Today's definition of barren is unfruitful, bleak, and lifeless. Our children, as designated by our language, aren't even ours. Parents are a pair who rents. Our governments, especially our courts, don't treat a parent's right to control and direct the upbringing of their child as a fundamental liberty. We're forced from a young age through many types of indoctrination, and our parents are helping in this process. Look at the word childhood. A hood is used to cloak and hide. The etymology of children is chill and dren. Chill means cold. Dren is a name meaning a strong and healthy individual. So children are strong individuals who must be chilled, made cold. Stay with me, this will all come together. In Ballantyne's 1948 Law Dictionary, the term human being says sea monster. When we see monster, we get the definition, a human being by birth, but in some part resembling a lower animal. In the Oxford New English Dictionary of 1901, a human is defined as belonging or relative to man, as distinguished from God or superhuman beings. So these definitions are telling us we're monsters and have no inherent divine qualities. The word live backwards is evil. Our language is telling us we're born as monsters who are bleak and lifeless to a pair who rents us out to the government and other corporations that indoctrinate us. Our childhood is spent under a cloak, so our divinity will be hidden from us, and we're evil when we live. Our sentences are made up of words. The word sisters in Greek mythology were fates or witches who controlled the fates of man. Every word we say directly affects our reality and ultimately our fate. The Egyptian deity Thoth is said to have invented language and writing. The original purpose was to use words for magic. The words write and write are pronounced the same. A rite is a ceremony or ritual. Whenever we're writing with words or speak, we're initiating a ritual. Books contain chapters. A chapter often refers to a sect of a secret society or religious order. To page someone is to summon them. Pages in books made of words are summoning things to enslave or imprison our souls. The word grammar comes from the French word grammaire or grimoire. Grimoires were ancient magic books which contained instructions to summon demons. I want to mention sounds affect everything around us. The study of cymatics is the study of sound vibration on matter, and it has been demonstrated that vibrations and frequencies create geometric patterns in sand and other mediums. We wake up each morning. A wake is a funeral party held for the dead. At the beginning of each day, we say to each other, "Good morning." Mourning is what you do when you're sad for the loss of someone or something. We begin each day reveling in the morning of our divine nature, which has been stripped from us, by calling it a good morning. It's pretty masochistic if you ask me. We then go to work.
Yes, family. Harry. You know what I mean? Yes, I did want to level up it, and make family know the real.
That video is a really good video. And that was one of the videos that I watched. And it's a really in-depth video. There's many other videos that go way more in depth and people talking about it and everything else. It's just crazy that how they've created this language, because English is a fairly new language if we look at it compared to other languages. And they've obviously created this language. They've obviously come together and collectively design this language to place people, because English is the international language of the world now.
Yeah.
And before it used to be Greek. If we go back, a couple, a while ago,
Yeah.
I can't remember how, but it used to be Greek. But now it's this language, and this language is just doesn't make sense. Some words mean the exact same thing, and and backwards it means something evil. It means something bad. Just like live is evil, and it's just crazy that
you did tell me about God same way.
Yeah, even like God is dog backwards. And this is why a lot of people will put, like myself, I will put a dash in between the O. Sometimes I'll do it.
Yeah.
Because obviously I'm not going to call God a dog.
Yeah, and with a righteous name like that, no matter what way you turn it, it's supposed to be righteous,
you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously I don't mean it like that way, but this is how, when the words that we say, they've created the word for it because they're the ones who created the language. So we're talking in their language. There's pagan, it's a pagan language, and obviously it's, we're being tricked into saying things that we don't necessarily mean or want to say. And
even pray now is like pray. I did watch one of the word spell them when they must say pray. Pray is like something where someone is going to live off of. So you become the prey,
Yeah, you
like
become the food.
Yeah, like in that way. So now we become the prey for these people call themselves leaders,
For real. No, it's true.
Yeah, even the celebrities, the actors, the government, the kings, the queen, the supervisor, the manager, we become the prey.
Well, just like the Matrix, you are just like a battery. You're a battery, and obviously your energy comes back, but when you recharge, they're going to try and take the energy, constantly trying to suck that away from you so that they can use that for their own kingdom and their own agenda.
Yeah, what they do now, for drain the energy every day, they make a system where every month you have to pay bills. You see, so you labor yourself, and when you labor yourself now, it's like when you pay bills, it come like you recharge back the system, and so you pay the bills now. Whosoever you pay
get charged. It's like the bank. You get charged at the bank. You see.
Yeah.
So it's all energy. Like I'll explain one thing as well. A bank. Why is a bank called a bank? It's because on a river, there's river banks. You see on the side.
Yeah.
And that's why they what flows. What does a river do? It's a current. That's why they call it a currency. That's why they have river banks and currency. So it's all part of their system to trick you into this.
Trick us from life to the system.
Yeah.
So
the system brings death.
Yeah.
This is what it brings death. When you're living in a system, you have no life. You're living for someone else.
Yeah,
when you live for yourself and the creator, you have life because you were put here to enjoy. God created the world so that we can enjoy it, in its purity, and He made it paradise. And when we go back to that paradise and that kingdom, it's pure, it's righteous, and you will be always fulfilled. You never be bored because there's always things to do,
Yeah.
And when we turn to things that are sinful and corrupt, you'll never be fulfilled. It's just the same pattern, it's the same cycle.
And like 99% of things what we use money to buy is all debt,
Yeah.
We go into the shop and buy anything. It's like slow poisoning us, like we're paying to kill ourselves. Because the Creator gives us everything.
Exactly. This is why we need to find alternatives, man. And like me today, I got this vitamin water. I know it's still not the best, but It's because I don't want to be drinking at the tap. So I just got myself the vitamin water. But really and truthfully, you know, we need to start changing our diets and everything as well.
Yeah. Yeah, for real, Prince Harry, man. Because you see what happened now. You see, in a awaken, yeah, it's like, and I like it just going to like just stop everything like that, you know what I mean? Because we're still living in the system, you know what I mean? It's just like we know, say, to pay bills in the earth, it's unlawful. We shouldn't pay for something what the Creator give to us. So what we have to do, take our time and work on that, and we take our time, like we know, say, all right, everything in the shop make from a laboratory, yeah, and making from a laboratory, we have to take ourselves like little and jiff away from it, but we have to make family aware of these things, and that is what we are doing same way. And like what I say, is like you did a talk, say you want to do the herbal site. So what the site got now, I don't really want to publish the site name yet, you know what I mean?
No, we got
when it
me and Daniel got an idea of doing something, you know, and we're gonna use this idea to not to amass wealth, but to be able to push and do something better, which is like we want to get to a point where we can have our own land and that we can start growing genetically modified fruits and vegetables, because a lot of people, they plant trees in their backyard, but there's nothing on it. You know, they're plain trees. It's not bad to have plain trees, but we need to have completely natural fruits, vegetables, and herbs. You know, and going back to how we should be living. You know, and that's why we're trying to come up with you know, a herbal tea sort of thing where we can you guys can grab it if you want to, but it's still in the making. So
for real, family, because family, what I always look at, is like, see, when I get great knowledge and when I watch great videos and all of these things, it's good, yeah. But remember, we're going back to the same vampire system. You understand? We're going back to it. We need to know it and come out of it. You understand me? We can't say, oh, the system is corrupt, and next we know about the corruption and we're going back to it.
Yeah, we have to do everything that we can to, you know, all of our energy and everything to get out. You know, we have to use all our power and our might to get out, and try any opportunity that we have to use it to escape from the system, man, because, you know, otherwise we're just going to be stuck in the same cycle forever.
Or this mind control, you know. It's just like people wake up every day, yeah. They must say morning. Morning is just morning. You know what I mean? When they say, oh, bless is less, same way.
Being less.
Yeah. So all of these words what we are using like a spell on ourselves, you know, and using it on our family member same way. When you're watching a program, you're getting programmed not to be yourself, because you're not seeing the right things when you're watching a live television, you know, like when you watch BBC, they don't want you to become yourself, you know, they want you to become them, so they know how to control you. Like the BBC people and all of these celebrities, they know you more than how you know yourself.
Yeah, no, it's true. And a lot of people are turning out, they act and they, you know, they all say the same thing, you know, they don't talk about anything that's, you know, any actual meaningful things. They're talking about what's going on the TV, what's going on in the news, but they don't talk about like how to improve their life, you know, how to have a better life, being natural and, you know, trying to become a better person. They don't talk about these things. They don't even want to talk about, you know, things that are are bad. You know, they want to talk about or not. You know, like what Kanye West said, or you know, Kim Kardashian or Kylie Jenner, or you know, celebrities like all the time. You know,
And
like
what people
why
have
are we
to
so
know,
fixated on people that we don't even know? That's
yeah,
what I don't understand. You know, we should be fixated on, you know, improving our. First, we have to start on ourselves, and obviously help other people around us. But our main priority should be to fix ourselves, and we fix people around us. You know, and help to fix people because obviously we can't. They have to make people are sovereign, and they make their own choices. You know,
yeah,
but that's what we need to do. We need to stop worrying about something that we have literally no control or understanding of. You know, like someone, you know, a celebrity or you know, actors and you know, like you see what I'm saying? Like people that just have no meaning to your life, and we want to waste our time on things that have no meaning. And when we're older, we're gonna be, you know, if we don't do anything, we're just gonna sit there and we're gonna be in the same position that we're in now, you know, on our deathbed and thinking, oh, all the regrets will start
yeah,
hitting you because you haven't done anything to change the world, to improve your life, and to help people around you. You just sat there and you sat there moaning about people, but you haven't actually gone out and tried to change the world and tried to change people. You just sat there moaning, you know? That's why it's good to wake up, but we've got to get out the bed and get going, trying to change. Because I tell people all the time on Facebook when people are writing posts, it's great that we're posting, but let's do something. How can we change it? We need to think. We need to have a solution-based mindset. Otherwise, we're going to be sitting in in the same predicament that we've been sitting in for years. Like I've been in our conspiracies and things like this for years. No one does anything. Same thing happens. Another program comes along, and the government does something. It gets exposed, and no one does anything. It's just we keep allowing them to do it. You've got to do something yourself, and then it will prevent them from doing it because you've come out of the system. If you're not in the system depending on them, you know, then they can't have any power over you because you've got all your own food. They can throw everything at you, but you've got your own land, your own food, everything. They can't do anything. You know?
yeah. And family that we are work towards, and that's why we do this live. You know what I mean? We're not working for none of these organization where I try to enslave like us or enslave the righteous family. You know, if people ask them way and then be a bad apple, man, then go do their bad things. You know what I mean? We build together and
Exactly.
grow together and make our life longer. Because the government teach us like if you live 140 years, that is long. But these are the people who is killing us off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like when we watch news and see people killing people, these are the people who is killing the people who is advertising the news.
Yeah.
Is it?
And a lot of them are paid by, you know, government corporate well, they are corporations. The government is a corporation, just so you know. The government isn't a public body. It's a registered corporation. All courts are registered corporations, you know.
Yeah.
So there's no justice inside. A corporation is there to make revenue. So they're there to make money out of you and to extract what they can out of you, anything that they can, any resources, anything to create revenue. That's what they're based upon. They're not based upon doing the right thing for you.
And you was talking about something about problem and solution.
Yeah, so it's time that we have a solution-based mindset. Like, you know, how we need to come up with ideas of how we can do things instead of going, this is what we should do. We should say, this is how we should do it. How are we going to do it?
Yeah.
Let's do it, because you got to create the plan first, and then you act upon the plan. But instead of us going, we can moan. We can sit there moan about the government. I've done it. You know, I moan. But the thing is I want to do it. You know, I'm trying to do it. You know, and this is how we've got to be. We've got to think, how can I get out? How can I do this? You know, and try and plan it, and get together with the right people and do it. You know, and that's what you need to do. We all need to do it.
True,
You know?
and that is all of our purpose in the earth, to fix it back. You know,
For real. You know?
Yeah, because we are great light in the earth, but a lot of us is like get our energy suck away. So it's like we believe in the system more than how we believe in each other.
You know, even if you felt like you feel drained, right? You feel like you haven't got no energy. Like that's why iron sharpens iron, right? So
Yeah.
you be around the right people. They're not if you're around the right people, they're not gonna make you feel drained. Like they're not gonna drain your energy. Like, you know, they're not gonna treat you bad. They're gonna, you know, and you're gonna know
Uplift.
straight. Pardon?
No, they're gonna uplift your energy.
Yeah, they're gonna uplift you. They're gonna help you. They're gonna build you up. They're not gonna break you down. People that you feel like are breaking you down, cut them off, get them out of your life. You know, I'd rather be alone. I am alone. You know, I'm not gonna say everything about my predicament. You know, maybe another time, but I've cut everyone pretty much off of my life because I felt like they're like a stumbling block. They're not allowing me to be who I am and to go somewhere in my life and do things. You know.
Yeah.
And
that with a lot of us growing up in the community, because sometimes our family will try to stop us from progressing in life like we was born to be. Sometimes it's friend, sometimes it's a community we grow up in.
Yeah.
And that when we start to break free, that is when it's like the veil gonna lift off our eyes. And when leave out of your community or leave out of the circle where you grow up in, maybe like for 1 year or maybe 6 months, and just say, improve yourself. And next, when you look back, you're gonna find out the real one who was holding you back. You know? So sometimes
you see when you leave people behind as well to because they're holding you back, they will start to wonder why you've left them behind, sort of thing. And when they see that you're doing things and whatever, they may come around again and be like, look, how do I do it like what you've done or something? Sometimes you have to leave people behind for them to wake up and realize, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, because when you progress and you get to a next level where you're meant to be at anyway, you know, because we're meant to keep going and getting better. Because in life, there's no final stop in life. You're always learning. You're always getting better.
Yeah.
Better. You know, that's what we're meant to do. There's no no one's mastered it. No one's a master. You know.
And what happened now?
Everyone's learning.
Life is like a plant. Yeah. The older you get, the more you blossom. You know. And the older you get, you start to give fruit. You see, like now we reach the age where we are give out fruit, but the fruit where we're giving out is so pure. Yeah, it's just like drinking a river water. 1 billion of people never drink a river water, so they don't even know the pureness of a river water. You know, and that is what we are talking from. You know, so at times, but like now, it's a time for us to shine together, you know, and shining together, we're gonna do it, you know. We're gonna play. Everyone gonna play their part, and that's why we come together, and we have to know, say, hear me, not because through the system teacher said that is the sun, you know, because if you go in a different language, like example Romania, then call it Soare, that a sun, you know, and maybe somewhere else they call the sun a different name. But what name is the right name for the sun? You see, some people will say, no, that is the sun. No, then program you and say that is the sun. The water. What is the water name? You know what I mean? Like in different languages, they have different name for the water. But some people just program into the system where they just see that and say it's water and get so the system break them down. Yeah, brother.
No, I was saying they've become very narrow-minded.
Yeah, and weaken their mind. So when them ready to learn the real of life, it's like they're tired. Or they say, no, they can't bother with that. So the system break them down from there was a child. So when they grow to adult, it's like, you know, like someone say, oh, you know what? It's like, I know something what good for blood pressure. The man say, nah, man, I go to the hospital to take medication. Yeah, because the system beat them down spiritual
They
and
think they have to
physical.
take
Yeah, they have to go
take
to the
drugs.
hospital. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Come on, man.
And only thing that them do, yeah, with these things, it's just cocaine that them break down in different ways. Like them put like about 3 job of cocaine and like half of 1 job of the herbs, whatever, should do the work. And sometimes they just put like maybe a little bit of cocaine, and after you take that cocaine, the cocaine work for and numb that sickness, and sooner or later it's like the sickness gone. You say, oh yes, the tablet work, man. But yeah, so it's all
It's
manipulate.
a lot of it's placebo as well, because and that's how this is how another thing, it's mental. See, when you're controlling someone's mind and you're trying to mind control, that's witchcraft as well, you know, because what it is, right, is that they've been a lot of people have been programmed since they're born to think that if I go to hospital, they're going to fix me.
Yeah.
You see, like if I go to the doctor, he's going to help me. And they really believe, and because they believe in it, it becomes real. So when I take, say for instance, when you have a headache, you take a paracetamol. See, a lot of people, oh, take a paracetamol. And it's been programmed to them. So they think, oh, once it goes down, the headache disappears straight away. Even if the drug ain't, you know, because a lot of time it's psychological, you see?
Yeah.
And you know, people believe it and it becomes real because they've believed in it. People, if you understand how powerful belief is, you know, having faith in something. Faith is a very powerful emotion. When you have faith in something, it becomes so real. You see, and you know, it's so when people have faith in the doctor, they have faith in the in the wrong things. We should have faith in what the Creator has given us.
Yeah, and what the wickedest
that
thing
is enough.
And the next thing, one time I did do a live off of this one, yeah, brother. It's like I was saying, yeah, believe, yeah. Believe is a dangerous thing, yeah, because you see, just like a child feel that a ghost is underneath the bed, yeah. Although no ghost is underneath the bed now, but because of that belief or that faith, yeah, that child believes that a ghost is underneath the bed. So every time he hears something move in that house or glimpse something in the house, he say it's a ghost.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is how faith and belief is like so powerful. You know what I mean? And that is how they embedded the system in our head, where that is not a sun, yeah. That is like a spiritual energy. So when we get that thing now, yeah, what they teach us, what is sun, that energize the we inside the body, and the we controlling the flesh, so it preserve the flesh. You know what I mean? So with that now, it's like people see it and say, oh no, it's sun. But you know what I mean? The sun never come and tell them say it's a sun. We never get the dream and say, oh yeah, the big bright light name the sun. But everybody have this belief.
It's a light. It's just a big light.
Yeah. You see, it's just like energy and energy combine. Yeah. Because you know, like when you sleep and thing, it's like you can go back into the spiritual dimension. It's like all of that spiritual dimension now, it come together, and so comes the earth bill. You see, and we have to know these things. We have to learn how to use our mind, because if we don't use our mind, someone out there will use our mind. Because when we say, oh, we're going to work and we're going to get pay on Friday or month end, that is someone is using our mind.
That's true.
Yeah, because I know we come up with the idea, or the creator come up with the idea, say you must slave yourself and you must get this thing where they call name paper and sell your soul for this thing. Is the puppet master come up with this idea, try to take us out of the creator dimension and bring us into this physical like prison, you know?
It's a prison. It's a prison. It's an open prison. If you think about it, it's a prison where you can walk around. You know, you're allowed outside. That's what it is. Your house is your cell.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, 100%.
And you see what I'm saying? It's crazy, isn't it? Your house is the cell, and then outside is when you have your you see in jail when you're allowed 1 hour to do exercise outside. So when we got more time and outside here, you know, we get a couple more hours outside to do our labor and everything, our slave labor and everything.
Yeah, but what happened now? You see, when them in the prison now, it's like they don't pay for nothing, innit?
Yeah, they got it all free there.
Yeah, and when we're outside and the prison now, we are a slave to everything. So we have to buy everything we need. So behind the bar, it come like a more freer than
you may as well be in the
you see what I'm saying? Yeah, so
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you like the system so much, you may as well just go to jail and live for free.
Yeah, you see, and at that we have to come out of that mental stage where it's like when we believe in this government, we give away our right.
Yeah,
you see, yeah,
because you're believing in them. That's why, you know, what you're giving them. If I say I'm going to vote for Boris Johnson, that means I support Boris Johnson.
Yeah,
that means I believe Boris Johnson is my leader.
Yeah,
you see, because I'm voting for him to be my leader. You see, so when people are doing these things, they're giving up their sovereignty, because really, Boris Johnson's no one's leader.
Yeah,
you know, because
he wants someone to lead him himself, innit?
I lead myself, you know.
Yeah, no, Boris Johnson.
I don't have. I can, maybe people come to me and listen to me because I got good advice and whatever, but I don't claim to have any authority over someone else. You know?
Yeah.
You see, and that's the difference between these people claim to have authority. They have no claim. Their claim comes from people. My claim for my authority comes from God. So whose claim is more valid? Mine or theirs? Mine. Because the Creator gave me my I have a soul, right? And he no one else gave me a soul. He gave me this body, you know?
Yeah.
This is my body. It's not their body. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they're nobody. They're random people that are trying to claim that they have the right to do whatever they want with my body and my soul. They don't.
Yeah.
You know, no one has the right to tell you what to do with your body and your soul. You know, a lot. Obviously, there are you know, circumstances that people want to talk about, like, you know, changing your gender and like when you go outside natural things. That's what I'm talking about. If it's not natural, then, you know, no one's got a right to. If it's natural, then no one's got a right. If you're doing everything naturally and how the world was created, because we all know inside of our being, what is right and what is wrong. You know it's wrong to hurt people, and you know it's wrong to do, you know, you see what I'm saying? But a lot of people, they suppress that their conscience, they suppress it, you know, and then it gets to a point where they're not aware anymore, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
They end up losing their sense.
Yeah, it's just like when you talk about agenda now, yeah. Like they have
Hello.
yeah.
Sorry, no, someone's banging my door.
Yeah. What happened now is like, you see, life don't make no mistake. So when a man born a male and a woman born a female, it's like, you see, when someone want to change that now, yeah, it's like them a go against life and all. But when you check out the system, it's all about changing people from life to this person who they don't know. You see, because when someone change their self, yeah, and because they don't know themselves enough. When woman change them body parts too, it's because they don't know themselves enough. When
They
they
don't know
start
who
to
they
wear
are.
all of these things on their face, they don't know themselves. So
They don't know
even
who they are. They're,
uh
you know.
huh, you see, it's just like a man changing his self. He don't know who he is, you know, and that is the world we are living in, because from the school system they mentally disturb our mind.
Mm.
You see,
That's not.
because way back in the days, everybody used to just live happy. No one business if they are a man or a woman. And today now, some people business, oh, I don't have straight teeth. Oh yeah, I don't have like straight hair. Oh yeah, I'm not black. I'm not white. Oh yeah, I have to do like, I have to give money to the pastor. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I need to slave myself to buy a house. You know, and all these things. And that is how the system take us away from life, because everything what I just say is not that, it don't have nothing to do with life. It's just control.
Yeah, man. They're all just different programs. You know.
Yeah,
Different programs. Yeah, so
but yeah,
it's all one and the same though.
yeah, man. Anything you talk about, man, it will link up back to the same thing, because you see the system, it come like true, they say like they try to make up so much thing in the system, but it always lead back down to one thing: the system need to fix. You know,
Yeah,
because
the system
when we
can't
look,
fix this matter. You know
huh?
what I mean? People look to the system to fix the system.
Yeah,
The system is not going to fix itself. You know,
that's
it
true.
doesn't,
That's true.
because there's nothing wrong with the system.
Yeah,
It's made like that on purpose.
yeah,
You see, people act like there's something wrong with the system, and then they go, "Oh no, we can fix it." There's nothing
yeah,
wrong with the system. It was made like that to trick people and to keep them dumb, stupid, and ignorant. That's the whole point of the system, so that they can rule over you, and you lose out.
yeah. And what happened to, because enough time I look on it, yeah, it's like, you see, if the world wasn't all it is today, maybe we would not exist, because like the bodies, you have a flu inside of you, yeah, your body will build up as strong as and take out that flu out of you. So today the earth come like it have a flu. So there is when the stronger we as life coming in the earth, we coming stronger. And like today now, the aim what we have is we make everyone come to them conscious self, and we all can work in a sovereignty way. Yeah, because I don't like we want to control no one. We just want them to acknowledge their mind thinking. To acknowledge, say, oh, we're living in an earth, and the earth provide everything for us. It provide water, it provide food, it provide shelter, and stop believing these people. So and I like we are trying to control their mind, but we just want them to use their mind.
For real, the earth, there's wood. Cut down a tree, there's wood to build your house. There's there's clay to make bricks, or there's stone, cut stone. If we all just did it ourselves, right, or collectively did it together, where we had, say for instance, we bought a couple of 100 acres of land, and it had like river, and it had some loads of trees in it, like a big forest. Maybe it cost a couple of 100,000, but if everyone came together, there's hundreds of acres on that land. Maybe it costs under $1 million, but really, if you think about it, that money is not a lot of money, because all that stuff on the land is worth more than all of what they're asking for it. And if we all came together and we lived on that land, it's yours as well, and it doesn't belong to nobody. It belongs to, because we're just renting it, really, because when we die, we can't take that land. So everything, we live off the land, we build our own stuff there, we use the resources there, we plant our own stuff there. Maybe it'll take 1 or 2 years to get going, but once we get going, and bro, the amount of wealth is not money. Wealth is the resources on that land, and the life that you're living. That is what wealth is, So
and guess what? You see, one time, Prince Harry, I used to I talk to a lot of Romanians and thing, yeah, and them always I say, oh, Gypsy always steal things and all of these things. So I never really know the meaning of Gypsy and thing, yeah. So them tell me, say, oh, people who don't live nowhere, innit? I say, oh, so in London now, long now, it's like I find out the real meaning of Gypsy, and I said, no, you know that I'm a Gypsy though. And then I said, why you say you're a Gypsy? And I said, oh yeah, I'm a visitor to the earth, innit? And Gypsy now have no home, innit? You see?
Well, I think a better word would be a nomad.
Yeah, you see. So
nomadic.
I'm just like a visitor, and being this damn visitor is like we visit the earth and we clean up the earth, you know what I mean, and make people start to activate their knowledge. You see, because the higher self, the conscious self of this body now, yeah. Show me one time, yeah. It has a one world. You see, when people learn knowledge in this world, if he say they're gonna go back to the spiritual and teach the spiritual, no, you can't teach a spirit. A spirit know today, tomorrow, your first life, your now life, and then will know your ever life. So when we get the knowledge, we have to use it in this physical life, because a lot of us don't know how to activate the knowledge what we have. You see? So people feel say, oh, when them learn something, they might go to the spiritual side and teach the spiritual side the things that what they learn. No, we have to use it in this dimension or this time we are living in.
Yeah, we learn from the spiritual to teaching the physical. We don't.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
So when they look for people, say, "Oh yeah, I'm smart," and they're keeping it. Oh, I'm not going on live, or oh, I don't want to say it. Or people going to feel say it's like I'm a threat and all of these things, threat to the system. No, you have to use it. The spiritual show you these things to use it in the physical.
Right? I know many people that speak up, right? And they've lost, like me, they've lost friends and family, but they look like they look healthier. They have a better life. Obviously they face persecution all the time from people, but they have a better life.
Yeah.
They would never ever want to go back to,
go back to that pit.
Go back to sleep. Man. Once you're awake, you can't go back to sleep, for one. And you never want to. People who are really awake don't want to go back to sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why would you want to go back to hell? You know?
Yeah.
You just came out and then you want to go back. Doesn't make any sense. It's just like you see the Matrix, where the guy he meets up with Agent Smith
Yeah.
and he sells out his friends. You remember
Yeah.
when he had the steak, when he was eating the dinner, and he said, "I know it's not real, but my mind's going to tell me it's real."
Yes, and brainwash himself.
Yeah. So he makes a deal with the devil, and he goes back and he sells out his friends.
Yeah,
Why
it's just like the Mason now.
You see what I'm saying? He's like a Judas, you know. He betrays his friends. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I am the shoot the virgin with the gun in it. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did shoot his the mate was flying the ship in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you watch the new Matrix.
Yeah, I've seen the new one.
Yeah, so the new one now, Neil, they said Neil come back into the world, yeah, and not even did know himself. He never know say him a Neil.
Yeah, the game. Like he was programming the game, but the game was real.
The game was real.
Yeah.
You see? So sometimes people playing game, yeah, but it's their last life where they used to live. You see? So and them for come out because every game people play, yeah, them play to win. But when it comes to reality life, people don't play to win.
No.
People play live life to like what I say now, support the system. You see? Yeah, they not play if they say, all right, you know what? I don't really want no government above me. I don't need to pay no bills. That is like playing the game now. But people don't play the right game. They play the puppet game, the system game.
When they can get out the system and they'll be 100 times. You see, the key is that.
Yeah. So they might do everything right, you know. But it's like them view the wrong thing. You see? It's just like people playing Candy Crush. Yeah.
You see, the key is always in front of you, but they trick you and they make you believe that there's no way out. That's the whole point of the game, is that, and once he wakes up, he realizes there is a way out. You see, in the Matrix, he realizes that there is. And obviously he faces his trials and tribulations with the guy, the enemy, but he wins.
Yeah.
So it honestly doesn't it doesn't matter. You're gonna face whatever, but it's not real because they're not real people. You understand? They work for the system, and the system has no power over you. You know, you've got to go out and do your thing, and then you start. The more that you get into it, the more you start realizing this ain't real. You know, it's not real.
You see, like everything, every picture, everything, you have a meaning behind it, yeah? You see, like when you hold up that key now, yeah? And next, you hold up the key. If you look on the key, you know, and tell someone, you know, say, oh, this key is real, yeah? Them go to feel say the key is real, you know. And you know the real thing behind the key is real. Is the life inside of the body is real, you know. And that life inside of the body, it have a purpose in the earth. So the key, that key now would be like material, because you could have get a pen and we grew up in a system, you have to use the pen to open the door. So that means that if you have something with shape and then call it key, it's not really a key. A lock don't have to use a key to be a lock, you know? But you in the body is a purpose, you know what I mean? Because every one of us is here for a purpose. You see,
everyone's got a reason.
Yeah.
We're not here just because of a big bang. We're here because of an intelligent being, you know, that created it. And this is his story, you know. We're all characters in a bigger story. But the thing is, people don't realize that, or they ignorantly choose to ignore it, and they don't realize that they can have, you know, it's way better on this side of heaven than that side. So
True. Hey, brother RCM here. What me I do now? We I call it a evening now because what happened is like, say me have to go in on the plantation tomorrow, CM, and you see how the eyes them I look bleedy. Come like, yeah, me there smoke ganja, but me not smoke ganja, Yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah, man, for real,
yeah,
man.
man. I feel you, man.
So yeah, man, how you talk about, man? Anytime you can pop in and and we
No,
just
it's been
call.
good. No, it's been
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Had a good
Yeah, man,
conversation.
for real.
Thank you guys
Yeah,
for
yeah.
thank you for allowing me on, and hopefully we'll talk about a couple of the other more updates that me and Daniel will talk about, and then we'll talk about the news, because we got some good things me and Daniel want to talk about. So, a couple of things we got going on behind the scenes. So.
Yeah. A real thing, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So if anything, me go use the word spell and just close the program same way, and so family can come to them higher self. You know what I mean? Because remember when we come on this live Prince Harry, it's like we are look from above. It's like, so we are not in the system, we are above. You know what I mean? So we can pinpoint things and say, oh, this one is like we have to bring the families them higher, you know what I mean, to view life from their
But pull them up,
birthright.
lift them up.
Like that same way, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, that you see.
A lot of
I,
people try and push people down. You got to be the complete opposite. You got to push them up. You got to pull them up.
yeah
There's always
and
people that will pull you up when you're down, man. But there's a lot of people
yeah
that want to push you down because they don't want to see you. They don't want to see you elevate in life. They don't want to see you in a better place. So
that's true.
there's always people that are not selfish and they'll always pull you up with them to the next level. Keep pulling you
Yeah
up. You see what I'm
and
saying?
with that phrase that you use, yeah, it's a good phrase to use same way, when I say, oh yeah, people will try to push you down, but we are here to lift each other up.
No, for real.
Yeah, it's a good phrase that maybe I start for you use that phrase there.
Well, it doesn't belong to me. You're welcome to use it.
Nah man, I just saw the universe work, see me. It's just like, we are one light, because the same life in you is the same life in me. And we are on the same journey. But we all have to come to that consciousness. Maybe you like the sun, I like the water, or the water connect with you and the sun connect with me, or the soil connect with you, or the lion connect with you and the cat connect with me. I just saw we are one life in the earth. None of us is more than none of us. So once you see someone is trying to be above someone, say that someone is being controlled by a lower frequency, you know,
Well, he's
yeah,
lower than everyone else.
lower than everyone else. So
Yeah.
in the physical eye, for someone to be rich, it's like you like he's above in it, but really and truly he's
He's lower.
below.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
because he lowered himself.
yeah, him lower himself. So that the reality.
For real.
Yeah, man, for real, man. So what we gonna do, Prince Harry, we gonna catch up same way, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
man.
yeah, and love to have you on the live, and like what me say, anytime you can pop in, and we uplift family out there to come to them higher self same way, you know.
Thank you, everyone, man. Everyone, have a good night. Take care.
Yeah, man. So yes, family. So that is family Harry, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, a good prince, you know what I mean? Prince of light and righteousness and all of these things, you know what I mean, family. And you must support the righteous light, same way, family. I love you so much, but hear me. And a time for love, family, a time for move forward, you know what I mean? You know someone righteous, let us come together and let us build together, you know what I mean? I love you so much and have an upliftment afternoon, and I'm going to finish play this word spell video. And I love you again. I don't love physical, I love spiritual because I'm a spiritual being, yeah? All right, I'm out, yeah? Love your family, yeah.
Work at our occupation. When we occupy something, it can mean being occupied by a military force, like in war. Many occupations are focused on money and the dog-eat-dog mentality. The dollar bill comes first before the environment or even each other. Therefore, we are committing war against each other and Mother Earth during each day we work our occupation. We are the military occupiers. An urn is for the ashes of the dead. For the average 9-to-5 worker, it would have to be one of the weekdays in order to earn a living. I agree, you would have to be in a weekdays to earn a living. During the week, we become weaker and weaker until finally it's the weekend, and we have become weakened. Somebody or something who is weakened has no power. And during the weekend, many of us turn to drink alcohol. Alcohol comes from the Arabic word al-kul, which is a body-eating spirit. It's also the source of the word ghoul. We drink booze or booze. Booze are synonymous with spirits who scare you, but what can you expect when you're drinking spirits? Alcohol has always been a medium for entities to flow through, and the effects in part demonstrate this. In Sigmund Freud's model of the psyche, he outlined 3 parts of the self: the ego, the superego, and the id. The id is the realm of our deep-seated fears. The id is considered a sort of third person hiding outside the conscious and superconscious mind. We use the similar word it as a sort of third person in our use of speech. We unknowingly give power to our deep-seated fears and help create it every day with our thoughts and speech. In horror movies, we hear the phrases, "It's alive," "It lives," "It came from the sea," and "It came from outer space." Of course, we remember the movie It. The it, or id, once again is our deep-seated fears, and by saying this word in our everyday sentences, we're evoking these. We all know the phrase, "When it rains, it pours." Satan, the ram or goat god, has also been known as Pan the Piper. A goat is a channel or pipe for water to flow through, and comes from the Old English word gotan, which means to pour. So when it rains, it pours. The word it consists of an I and a T, which is a cross. To cross someone is to go against them or insult them. I cross. I'll also mention that we live on an enclosed flat plane. Planet is simply plane with a cross at the end. It's also a plan-net. The plan with the lie of outer space and the many other lies used to trap us in a net of lies. When we graduate, we receive a diploma. Diploma comes from the word deplume, meaning to deprive of feathers. We receive our degree. A degree is a line bent to angle. When we accept a degree, we are admitting that we are bent and confused. Education, as we should all know by now, destroys knowledge, just like how the medical establishment destroys health and the government destroys freedom. All day we say to people, "Bless you," and "I'm feeling blessed." When we bless somebody, we're really telling them to be less. We should know when we pray to an external entity like God, we are actively telling the universe that we don't recognize our own creative abilities of manifestation. When we pray, we are really becoming prey. Somebody becomes prey when they are vulnerable. When we are praying, we are making ourselves vulnerable to other entities that don't always have our best intent. We have all the power within us, and we need to get off our knees. Our flat plane has been squared. This is in part what squaring the circle represents. The divine feminine, the circle, has been squared by masculine principles. Thoth, as I mentioned earlier, is the Egyptian creator of spelling. Thoth's name reveals a circle inside of a square. Thoth is made of squares in the form of the T-square and the H-square. The O is in the middle. Food for thought. Words act as electromagnetic vibrations, and it pulls us into confines by defining things in a reality made of free-flowing sine waves. It's just like the Saturn-Moon matrix projecting square waves on us. You could say we're helping in squaring our reality with these limiting sounds we utter from our mouth. And what's been given to us has been perfectly crafted, so we revel in language full of masochism and hatred for our divine selves. It's best we start learning to speak with a more conscious language. Everything we say is directly affecting this projection we're all in. We can use our intention and words to create amazing realities. One day we'll go back to our full telepathic nature, but for now, let's make the best of these spells.
and go off during the weekdays to earn the living. We awake each morning and go off during the weekdays to earn the living at various jobs and undertakings until we come to the weekend. And this seems perfectly acceptable to most people. However, more people die between 6 and 9 on a Monday morning than any other time of the week. So I do what I call a translation of the English language, and I spell that Trance with the idea that words cast spells. So when you translate that life sentence, you remember that awake is a funeral party for the dead. Mourning is the state you're in when you attend a wake. And you would have to be in a weekdays to earn the living, since urns are for the ashes of the dead. We call our jobs undertakings. Job itself is a Hebrew word for persecuted. And what we get at the end of this perverse bargain with life is the weak end of the deal, as we become progressively weakened ourselves. And so our most prevalent greeting to each other is hello, the reverse of which is, oh, hell.
All right, guys, here's just a few more we can take a look at. Take a look at these two words at the top, childish and sluggish. They both have the word ish at the end, suffix ish. Now, what does ish mean? Ish means sort of, kind of, but not really. Childish means sort of like a child. Sluggish means sort of like a slug. And then at the bottom we have the word English. Well, this is why the English language is so complex like this. It's because it's an ish language, sort of a language, kind of a language. It can be easily tweaked and manipulated, so that's why we call it English. Someone asks you a question and you don't quite know the answer. What is the first sound that you make without hesitation? You say, Yes, that's right. You say It's the same sound. We go because that's the sound we make to download information in our brains. And usually we look up at the ceiling when we do it as well. Why? We're looking up to the heavens to download information. And keep in mind that nobody ever told you to say when you don't know the answer to the question. You just naturally do it by yourself without even thinking about it. And O-M, is the international word for electrical resistance. We also have the word dedicate, or dead-icate. This has the word dead in it. Why do we call it dedicating our life to something? Why wouldn't we call it livicate? We also have soul and soul. When you're born, what do the doctors do? They take blood out of your soul, the bottom of your foot. In many languages, the sun is also called sol. In Spanish, it's called sol. In Russian, it's called solnce. And we also have sold and sold. So when you sold your soul, you quite literally sold it. And the last one for now is ice. This is a big word right here in the English language. When somebody breaks into your house, you might call the police officers to come to your house, or the pole ice off-icers. The police's job is to keep us off the ice. Antarctica is the ice. That's why Antarctica is heavily guarded, because it's no man's land. There's no laws in Antarctica. If you go to Antarctica, you would be a free man. You would no longer be under Admiralty law jurisdiction. This is why the police patrol the off-ice, the land, what is not on the ice. And when you're committing a crime but you haven't gotten caught yet, somebody may tell you you are treading on thin ice. So that's why when you get justice, you're just ice. You're just on ice. You're just barely on ice. You get just ice. And that's it. Be sure to comment and let us know if you have any other spell words.